In this exercise tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through a jackknife crunch, but we're going to be doing the regression of a full jackknife crunch, and we're going to be doing the jackknife crunch with the knees bent. Now, this is a fantastic exercise for those that have maybe tried the full variation of the jackknife crunch. Maybe they're not quite there, maybe the core's not quite conditioned enough, but they want to progress to that. This is the exercise that I would start individuals off with before going to that full variation. The simple difference between the two exercises is that in the advanced variation, you'll have your legs straight, and in the variation I'm going to show you, you've got your knees bent, so it's a little bit easier. Now I'm going to show you two variations dependent on where you're at. So firstly, in terms of your start position, feet just wider than hip width apart. I've got my heels beyond the position of my knees. So my heels aren't underneath the knee, they're slightly further away. I'm going to line that up on both sides. And the first thing you're going to do is take your hands and come into shoulder flexion. So just bring your hands as far back as possible. If in this position you start to round your back, what you might want to do is just have your start position here as opposed to the whole way back as far as you can. So we want that lower back to be completely in contact with the mat before we start the exercise. Now I'm going to brace my core, really push my lower back into the floor. My knees are going to come up until they're in line with my hips. I'm then going to crunch up. Eye line's always looking at the ceiling. Crunch down and feet down, lowering under control. So that's knees up, crunch down, knees down. Now, of course, for that harder variation, your legs would be straight. Now, what I find with a lot of beginners is, let's say they're doing this, they're keeping the lower back down, but when they're crunching up, they're getting a lot of neck flexor strain. I would just have the hands behind the head, do exactly the same variation, but I would have them crunch up with the hands supporting the weight of the head so they don't get all the strain within their neck, and they can slowly build up neck flexor strength over time. Now, of course, you'd repeat that for your desired amount of sets and repetitions. And what you can do if you're trying to progress that is walk the feet further and further away from your body. Make sure they're a little bit straighter each time. And ultimately, you will get to the stage where your legs will then become straight and you'll be doing that full advanced variation.